We started the channel on Cakewalk, which was a Catalina 42.
Love that boat. Still kind of miss her, but that was back in the days when we weren't living on a boat. And do you remember we actually had jobs and a house?
And now we have Isabella.
And that's all we have, because we sold our house, we quit our jobs, and here we are. And gotta say, no regrets. Hey, look. You want to go?
You bet.
Let's go sow a few wild oats.
And speaking of sewing,
Steve is getting ready to make a cover for the aft companionway hatch.
it's been a while, but pulled out the trusty Singer 237. Looks like last time I was using it, I was doing zigzag. I believe it only does zigzag and straight stitch. But I'm thinking I'd have to look it up. This is maybe a mid-1960s machine. It's all metal. And it sews through 1/4-inch plywood. No, I don't know that, but it seems to be equivalent to a Sailrite machine. I paid $100 and some change for it with the walking foot. Not bad, huh? Well, the Singer's been sitting for a while, so I'm gonna lube her up. Let's see, I'm following directions. Certain things I don't need directions to lube up.
I can verify that. Actually, according to Singer, this machine was built in 1957.
Got my trusty little feed for the, I think this is number 69 polyester thread. Seems to work. Well, here's our first seam. I'm not the straightest sewer, but hey, I'm a beginner. Here's the hatch we're going to cover, because I don't know if it's poor design or what, but rain ends up leaking down. There's not good drainage here, and so we're going to cover it with sunbrella. Cover it like this. There. And we did a seam here. Now I'm going to do a seam there, and then we'll bring it back out and re-measure. Starting to fit the hatch cover on, installing snaps. Got some on this side. Sailing, sailing, oh the ocean blue. Wow, look at that nice canvas cover. Covers our aft hatch. Snap zone. Not perfect. I don't really know how to sew.
We got our new charcoal water filters, so I'm gonna go change it.
In that outfit?
Yeah.
Good thing I just cleaned the engine room. Was the access panel out? Well, some may remember we replaced 2 lights in here, these kind of modern gizmos, and we decided not enough lighting, so we're adding a 3rd one.
Gee, I always wanted a threesome.
You know, you can always tell a good screw because it fits on here very nicely. Therefore, I can get it right in the hole.
Which you're always good at.
There we go. Now we have 3 of them. I'm blinded by the light. I was changing the battery on my motorcycle and it was kind of starting to rain, and lo and behold, Karen looked up and saw some funnel clouds. We actually don't know if they ever went all the way down to the water to form a water spout, but they were kind of cool to watch, and sure didn't want them coming our way.
Today is a day of celebration. So some of you all may remember that when we flew into Miami about 6 weeks ago, the car wouldn't start, and so we left it there to be repaired. It needed a fuse box, and apparently there was not one in the whole country. So we waited, and we think that their parts department maybe forgot to order it the first time around. We kept calling, and finally they were saying it'd be 3 to 5 days, and then it didn't come in, and it finally they finally thought it was in, but then there was the cyber attack. You all probably have read about that, and they couldn't do anything with their system. They couldn't really tell if it was there. No one was shipping anything. So they finally got it in, and literally after they had the part in their hand, it took about 2.5 hours until they called me back and said, it's ready. So 6 weeks later, we have our car.
I know it was fortuitous that we had the motorcycle shipped here, my Haybusa, just as our car is stuck in Miami, and but it is a little difficult to buy groceries on a crotch rocket or whatever you want to call that bike. I mean, I can like bungee on the back seat, some water, and I don't know, a box of wine and have a backpack. And of course I wear armor when I ride it, but it is great to have our car back.
Our dockmate is selling his boat, and he graciously told us we could have his Tideminders. So we rushed over there in the dinghy to grab them. They are balls that you put your dock lines through and around the piling, and so they will go up and down as the water levels change, which makes a fixed dock into virtually a floating dock.
And there's our Tideminders.